Now, Toronto enters tonight as the 4th seed in the North Division. The Amerks are the 5th, locking up that final playoff spot. And head coach Michael Leone said he's approaching this series with that underdog mentality.
Now, you have some history with defensive coordinator Jim Leonard, obviously at Wisconsin, opposite sides of the ball. But what was that reunion like here? Tell me about, seeing him again.
Well, a lot of sports are a game of inches. Rifle is a game of just millimeters. And while it teaches precision and accuracy, it also teaches some life skills. The last time the Amerks brought a Calder Cup back to Rochester, the Macarena was at the top of the Billboard charts. The Cowboys won the Super Bowl, and Tickleby Elmo was the toy of the holiday season. It was 1996, 30 years ago. Now, the pressure is, like I said, high for both teams, especially for Buffalo, who's just 1-6 all time in Game 7s in franchise history. But even with that stat, head coach Lindy Ruff is confident his group has what it takes to get it done on the ice tonight.
And we really haven't seen that from DJ Moore, really all camp. I mean, nobody has really locked him down except for, we talked about this earlier, except for Benford, which is, I think, exactly how it should be with the state of both of those, the cornerback room and the receiver room. But it was definitely elite on elite.
So I want to talk about your community involvement a little bit. I know earlier this season you were an instructor at a clinic for some young girls playing hockey. Why is that important to you to help grow the game, specifically maybe for those communities?
Do you think there's any possibility of this feeling like a home atmosphere for the Bills? Obviously, it's on the road. Kansas City is going to be there and be loud, but how do you feel that Bills fans will show up for this game?
Now, this is obviously new head coach, new stadium for the Bills. Is there anything new about your game that maybe wasn't there in college, but you feel like you are bringing to this team this year?
Earlier this season, Rathbone launched a program called Jack's Pack, dedicated to giving back to families with autism spectrum disorder and other developmental disabilities. Well, for Rathbone, it's a cause that just means a little bit more.
Bills running back Ian Wheeler has had quite the journey. He had no Division I scholarship offers, then went undrafted out of college. He made the Bears as a rookie, only to tear his ACL and fall out of the NFL. Then after playing this spring in the UFL, he joined the Bills, and his story is actually even more interesting than that.
Being from California, you ended up in Minnesota, then you ended up obviously in New York, two very snowy places in contrast to California. What was that transition like? I watched one of your interviews at Ohio State, and you said winter was your favorite season.
Did I say that?
You did say that. It might have been a few years ago, but you did say that.
I know why I said that.
Okay,
because
explain.
I'm selling stock of Josh Palmer, not because I don't think he will have a productive year. I still believe in him in that capacity, but just like I said, with more pieces in the receiver room, I see him having maybe a lesser role. And especially with Skylar Bell being in the receiver room now, I feel like Bell has the potential to maybe take some of that load off of what Josh Palmer could potentially do.
The sun is out now, so it is a little bit warmer, but definitely not what you would expect for a baseball season or April weather in general.
A room filled with silence, only disrupted by the sound of a pellet leaving its gun and finding its target.
You may think it looks boring, but it's really fun when you pick up the rifle and you look down the sights.
Riflery as a varsity sport is growing across local high schools, recognized by Section 5 for the first time this season.
Oh my gosh, this is going everywhere, and I feel like it's so much better for the community.
It means we get recognized even more for all the hard work that we've put into it.
Just 4 teams exist in the section, the minimum to qualify as a varsity sport. While access to equipment can be a barrier to forming teams, interest isn't hard to find.
You give me the equipment, I'll get the kids.
Tom Green, Alexander's head riflery coach and Section 5 coordinator, was at the forefront of the efforts to get riflery recognized. He gathered the athletes and gathered the equipment. So what exactly is it that's being used?
It's a pneumatically charged air cylinder attached to a single shot pellet rifle. It shoots a .177 caliber pellet.
And when it comes to the targets, Green put it into perspective.
The dot that they're aiming at for a 10 ring is about the size of pencil lead.
Well, a lot of sports are a game of inches. Rifle is a game of just millimeters. And while it teaches precision and accuracy, it also teaches some life skills.
I definitely grown to be more patient since it's a very, very patient sport to be in. I still get anxious every single time I pick up the gun, no matter what. So it teaches me to deal with anxiety outside of shooting too.
Athletes also said it brings a sense of community.
I know people, lots of people from 5 different states just because of this sport.
And for those who have doubts about riflery, Green said it best.
Anybody who thinks it's not a sport, I encourage you to step up to the line and try it.
Reporting in Alexander, Rachel Libert, News 8. Irma, Alberta, a village in Canada with a population around just 500, where hockey is a way of life.
That's what everybody did. I think there was soccer and there was baseball, but everyone
plays hockey.
Around 2,000 miles separate the village and Rochester. But before making the trip to Western New York, Amerks goalie Scott Ratzlaff spent 5 years at the junior level, starting at just 16 years old.
When you're young and like 16, 17, you can just play for hours and hours on end. And now it's not saying I'm old, but just you got to take care of the body. And if you don't do it yesterday, you'll feel it today, right?
At 18, Ratzlaff was drafted by the Sabres in the 5th round. The following year, he saw some preseason action for Buffalo.
You see those guys on NHL in the video game, you're like, wow, they're right there, sitting across from you. So just knowing that I could play with them, and it helped my confidence a lot too.
That confidence has stuck with Ratzlaff, even as he's faced adversity in his first year in the AHL.
Some games just maybe aren't going to go your way.
Back in February, Ratzlaff gave up 7 goals in a loss to Utica, and fans at Blue Cross Arena wanted a replacement, chanting Devin Levi's name. Well, Ratzlaff didn't let those chants get to his head.
You got to be able to sit back and laugh a little bit too. Like, it's not the end of the world. The fans can say what they think. You know, whenever you get your opportunity again, like, try not to let that happen.
With the ups and downs of pro hockey, I asked Ratzlaff if he feels he has something to prove.
Always. I think you can always show that you belong here. Like I mentioned, no matter what league you in, you want to dominate.
Ratzlaff added his goal for the season is to get as much experience as possible. And his goal for each game, to not let one shot given up turn into 2. Reporting at Blue Cross Arena, Rachel Libert, News 8. Wondering what the vibe is like under new Bills head coach Joe Brady? Just ask offensive lineman Alec Anderson.
The vibe with Coach Brady is young and fresh, I think. It's kind of like having your uncle come over, and he's a little bit younger than the older brother, and you know you're just going to have a good time. He's single, not that Joe Brady's single, but like you know you're going to be able to go out, get some ice cream, really do stuff that your parents wouldn't really allow you to do, and I think that's kind of the fun aspect that we're going to have.
At just 36 years old, Brady is the youngest active head coach in the NFL, but that youth resonates with his players.
He knows what we're capable of because I think he's had more than enough time to really understand who we all are. On the field, he's more demanding, but in the sense of he knows what to expect from us, and he's going to hold us to that standard year-round.
The expectation is high for Anderson, fighting for a starting spot on the line, but he says his experience with Brady last year has prepared him for the challenge.
Them giving me the opportunity last year and the year before that to be the jumbo tight end really helped me understand more defensive schemes and why they're doing certain things, and I credit that to Joe just because he was able to put me in those positions to where I was able to succeed, and he's doing the same this year.
Reporting at St. John Fisher with the Bills, Rachel Libert, News 8.